about new beginnings.
It's about asking the really big questions. Then, taking that first step to an answer.
Or supporting the people of the Empire in times of crisis.
It's about doing what's right, even in the face of impossible danger.
To shield our homes from the threats both outside and inside our border.
It's about living up to the proud tradition of this uniform and those who gave their lives for it.
So, yes, the universe is full of beginnings. But no matter where our paths take us, we all have our place in the fleet. United in purpose.
And welcome everyone back to the Soul Citizens. We are here today, once again, another week of fun-filled Star Citizen conversation, and we have lost Dark Knight. Dark Knight, you still there, buddy?
I'm still here.
Okay,
He's here.
but you lost your link
role
completely, right? You lost your video
He's
link.
role playing.
Okay, hang on a second. I see him. He's this. He reloaded his link. Did you reload your link?
Yes.
All right, you got to let me know when it happens, because what happened was the old one is still there, so I got to drop it and bring you back. So give me a second here.
He was role playing, Greg.
He's role playing. All right, let's get him back in real quick, gang.
Went dark, so
Let's get him back in.
That's right. Role playing.
All right, folks. Sorry about that, gang. Give us 1 second to get our technical stuff together here. We were ready to go, and as usual, the gremlins decided to show up. So,
yes.
All right, let's see if we can keep him in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. And then he just blurred out again. Yeah, I know. All right, he'll pop back in though. I'm not worried about that so much. I have to make sure I pop him back in when we do the raid later on. Again, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Soul Citizens. I'm GriffinGamingRPG, and today I'm back with some of my cohorts as always. I think we lost Dark Knight again. There
I'm still here.
You're still there? Okay. All right. Well, he'll pop back in eventually. Let me start from right to left this time. I'm going to start with Kelosal. Kelosal.
In the playoffs again. Defending champs. Go Lightning.
Boy, oh boy. Good to have you. I see you got your Invictus logo back there behind you. I take it that you're feeling good about Invictus and got some stuff to share this week, right?
Yeah, it's time to recruit for the Navy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. And to my other side, the one and the only fastcart FC. What's up, buddy?
Hello. Yeah, I got my Invictus background up this time.
You got your Invictus background up. Okay, good to see you, man.
I mean, it's a picture. It wasn't one of the pictures that TIG tweeted out.
Okay. DK, I tell you what, let me try something a little bit different here. Captain Wee Wee, thank you for the 5 subs, brother. We appreciate you and appreciate that. Don't want you to think we take that for granted. Who else was that? There was somebody else who gave us a sub right at the beginning of the show. Who was it?
Fist.
Was it Fist? Okay, Fist.
Yeah,
thank you.
He was 5 months and 2 months straight.
Oh, okay. Thank you. We do appreciate you, brother. We won't think anybody to think that we take it for granted. You guys send your hard-earned funds to us to support what we do here, and we truly appreciate you. There we go. We got him back. Excuse me. And last but not least, Dark Knight 75. What's up, brother?
Hey, not too much. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good to see you.
A nice weekend hanging with my son.
Okay. Oh, cool.
It's been great. Yeah.
Awesome. And for those of us in the States, it's a 3-day weekend, kind of, right? We got Memorial Day tomorrow. So we're kind of in a chill mood today. This isn't, normally we're in a different mood because folks have to go back to work on Monday, but tomorrow everybody's off. I
don't know about your mood, Griff, because we had to spend time together yesterday with you and me.
This is true.
You might be burned out. You might need another weekend just to recuperate from yesterday.
Just to recoup from yesterday. Yeah, but yesterday was fun. Real quick, I want to say Asmodos. I'm not sure how to say it, but thank you for the follow. We appreciate you following us today. He kicked it off right at the beginning with the first follow for the night. And as you guys can see, man, Captain Wee Wee pushed us over our subscriber thing. You guys see that at the top, our goal? Thank you, Captain Wee Wee. He pushed us over. There you go with that 101. Well, it was either his 5 that pushed us over, or it was Fist to Face's 1, depending on how you want to look at it, right? But since the goal was 200, then I have to give it to Captain Wee Wee because he was the last man to throw it in. So Captain Wee Wee, thank you for helping us make our May goal. It was your 1 fist. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. All right, we're losing DK again. DK, I'm gonna try and pull you in differently. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to try something that is unconventional. You guys bear with us one more time because we want all of our folks on board with us when we do the show. So I'm going to try and steal his picture from an entirely different place. And it's going to be a little blurrier because the other thing is just kind of funky, but that other picture we just cannot deal with. I don't know if it's internet signal or what, but we're going to try. I'm working around the thing here of how to do this. So hopefully that one will work better. Okay. All right. So as you guys know, this is Invictus week, and our show today is about Invictus 2951. But before we, can't do that either. Wow, I got to keep that screen up if I want to keep you on the screen. No, it's not you. I'm kind of working around a way to do it, and the way I'm working around it is kind of funky. All right, there's your original picture. Okay, we're going to go with that one because that one allows me to change screens. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. Okay, we're good. So let's talk about Invictus a little bit. This is the second year that CIG has done it. Fastcart, do you have the latest numbers on Invictus where they are right now yet, or do you need a few minutes to tabulate?
Shoot.
That's okay. You need a couple of minutes to tabulate?
I can get it right now.
That's what I mean. You need a couple seconds. Okay. Udgorth, thank you for the follow. Thank you.
As of now, it's like, as of this hour, it's $10,347,555. So
wow.
10.3 million.
Okay. So
last year they did almost 13 million. So they're on track to tie it or beat it.
Now that's interesting.
2 more days.
Kelosal, I'm gonna ask you first. 10 million, 13 million last year, which was their biggest month ever, right? And I know when we saw that happen last year, we were kind of like, wow, that's kind of a fluke, for that much money to come in 1 month, because sometimes they were not even making that in a year. Tomorrow's the day where everything goes back on sale. Everything, right? 24 hours, everything's back on sale. Do you think they're going to hit that 13, or do you think they'll miss it? I'm not saying they should. I'm just kind of curious as to what you think. Because, I mean, how do they keep bringing this money in? Do you think it's going to hit that 13 or get close? Or
I'll be amazed if they hit it this year. Because, I mean, didn't they have a little bit more content as far as new ships that came in last year, what have you? I mean, I would be thoroughly amazed if they were able to eclipse, let alone achieve, what they did last year. It'd be good for CIG if they did that. I mean, I would be amazed.
Okay.
Can I correct you a little bit on that? In November of last year, they did beat the May by a million.
Was it 15? It was 15 in November, right? Wasn't like 15 million in November, something like that?
Almost 16.
Almost 16.
I can get you that number.
Okay. But mind you, that was anniversary time.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Right.
That during the anniversary.
Right.
It's almost 17 million during the anniversary.
Okay. Wow. It's a lot of money.
Wow. Yeah.
And we've all, not just us. I mean, there were plenty of people in the community have said when we start seeing those numbers change, that might start sending a slight signal to CIG in the sense of where, I don't know, Dark Knight, do you think that'll be a sign of where the community is, or is that just a sign of, it's just kind of leveling off, and it's kind of like, because at some point it's got to level off, right? I mean, it can't continue. At some point it's got to kind of start to taper down, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. We can't expect to keep getting $15 million every May, right? But what do you think? Do you think it's just going to be a natural thing of, okay, we've kind of tapped it out, or do you think it will be a sign of, hey, people ain't buying these ships? What's the scoop?
I do agree that I think it's going to taper off, or at least it's kind of plateauing and leveling off for a short time. There's not much added to the game over this courses of time for people to to recommend it to friends and things like that. And the free flights, they work pretty well. They get people into the game and buying game packages and things like that. But as far as spending extra money on ships and things, a lot of people are, that I've heard are talking about, if it's not associated with gameplay, I don't really need to see it. Can we still get the gameplay added to the game? Something like salvage. Are we waiting? We want the Vulcan to come in, but we don't have salvage. We're hoping that salvage comes in along with the Vulcan. That would be a reason to pay for the ship. And then others people aren't willing to pay for concepts anymore. I think it's, we're just kind of waiting and seeing what happens.
Wait. Let me ask you a question. That's an interesting point you make. Are you saying people aren't willing to pay for concepts, or they're not willing to pay for concepts that aren't ready to fly? Because the numbers, look at the numbers. You know what I'm saying? That freaking, what's that thing that just came out? The Scorpius?
Scorpius,
yeah.
It's different, doesn't it?
That sucker ain't coming out until 2022. And people bought.
They hit the mark on that one. They hit the mark on that because it looks like an X-wing.
Okay.
And so that was a sell.
You think that was a fluke, huh?
Instant sell. Yeah, that's instant sell. Anybody sees that, they're like, yes, I want it.
Okay.
Even I wanted it.
Okay. Okay.
Let me say one thing. Last year during the Origin concept sale, the first 2 days, they made almost 800,000, 779. Okay. This year for the RSI Scorpius scale, they doubled that, 1.6 million.
In other words, they're not stupid. They know, they see the numbers. Numbers don't lie, people do.
Yeah.
And they see the numbers, and they know what they have to do in order to best what they had the previous year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's interesting. I'm glad fastcart, we got our statistician over there, because it's interesting that fastcart mentions what they did last year with that, and then all of a sudden they put out the Scorpius, and I mean that number just went right up this year. So it's going to be interesting if they decide to go another year with that, a third year with Invictus, to see what concept ship they put out. And to answer your question, Griff, you had a two-part question. My answer is both. You sat there and said it would people get tired of it, or it's just tapering off. It could be both. But once again, as long as people tend to support the game by purchasing these ships, it gives them the avenue to keep on doing what they're doing.
Okay.
Bite your tongue, Kelosal.
I saw that. I was waiting for you to see that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Really. Howling Mad Dog says, but concept ships without gameplay isn't going to get them money forever. And agreed. It's not going to get the money forever. I wonder when Squadron 42 comes out, what will happen at that point? Will there be a shift? Right now, all we have is Star Citizen, right? But when Squadron comes up, how much of a shift there will be toward people who will get into that single player, that big epic story that Chris is going to develop. And that's pretty much where they'll feel like, okay, I accomplished everything I want to do. I was just playing Star Citizen until Squadron came out. Or will there be the people who, play Squadron, but they'll still put in that time in the Star Citizen universe? I'm kind of curious as to what you guys think on that.
We have like 3.5 million citizens. 3.1 million citizens. I think when Squadron 42 comes out, if it comes out before Star Citizen, which it probably will, we're going to see numbers explode in the interest of Star Citizen.
Okay.
Of course, that's assuming the Star Citizen Squadron 42 becomes the game that we all think it will be. We all hope it will be. We're going to see maybe 20, 50 million people in account when Squadron 42 comes out.
Okay. Anybody else? Fastcart, I'm going to try to replay your video and see if we can get it to pop up better than what was there. Anyone, are these two guys, you guys, any opinion, any thoughts on that? Will Squadron 42 have an impact on playability of Star Citizen?
I think it will to a point. I mean, it's going to change the way that we view Star Citizen, because there are going to be people that are on the single player campaign coming into the persistent universe once they're finished, and that'll change the landscape of the game just a little bit. But overall, I think it'll have an impact on it. It may not be significant as we might see it, as a big impact right now. But I think over time, especially once it's released, we'll see some.
Okay, fair enough. All right, before we jump into Invictus, I got to present a question to my panel here tonight. They've got this question. Hopefully, they had a couple minutes to think about it. As we know, this week there were 2 videos put out. One of them was a video that was put out by Tony Zerovic that talked about the thing that we've been waiting on for a long time, learning about the AI in Star Citizen. And then on Friday, they put out a video called Quasar. I'm sorry, his video was called Quantum Quasar Virtual AI. And then on Friday, they did a show called NPC Behavior. Why did they put that out now? I mean, why was it necessary to drop that in the middle of Invictus? Invictus had plenty of stuff to talk about. Do you think that they're saying something to us in the sense of, Tony gave a couple revelations. One of them was, we talked about this Kelosal, you and I, on the show on Monday when we did Soul Talk, that Tony Z said that iCache is largely ready. Are they kind of hinting to us that maybe this year, and he said that we're going to start implementing this in the next patch. Are they getting us ready for AI to see that shift? Because if you remember, there was supposed to be some AI integration into 3.13 that got pushed back with the spawn closets and stuff. Anybody can take this, whoever wants to jump in on it. Do you think, because they could have showed this next week, next month, why in the middle of Invictus did they decide to drop this whole stuff about AI?
I'll take that. I was watching. I watched Tony Z's and I watched and when I watched the AI behavior, it was interesting that both of them did come out about this. In this time period, I'm wondering if they are working to start implementing some of those AI mechanics into the game. Maybe we'll start seeing AI walking around in stations and going to ships, and perhaps we'll start seeing AI flying around the starports, or perhaps in space. Maybe we're starting to get to that point. Quanta, he was talking about Quanta a lot, and I probably have to watch that video 2 or 3 more times to really kind of grasp it. But it seems like it's so close that they're really kind of holding for something. iCache, I think he had even mentioned that iCache was somewhat already being implemented into the game. We're just not seeing it's only parts of it that we're seeing. So they're building up to something. They're building up to either some kind of economy beginning to take place, beginning to form. And it would be, an AI-based economy. They're talking about how that influences the general economy. So maybe we're going to start to see that happen.
Okay.
Maybe it'll start happening in trade.
Okay.
Beginning first start.
FC, Kelosal, either you guys got any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
I, for one,
go ahead, FC.
I, for one, welcome our internet, our AI overlord as they come online. No, it'll be interesting. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's largely complete. I think maybe 2 months, unless they have a blocker that they don't proceed, that we'll see it come online completely. Hopefully, but we'll see. That's my prediction. Yeah, it's a couple of months maybe, because we don't know when Tony recorded that either. Like we think he recorded it last week and they just put it out this week.
Well, I'm not talking about the recording. I'm not talking about when did he record it. He recorded that relatively within this quarter because he said it's coming out in the next patch. But my issue is why this week? There was no reason for them to do this big focus on AI with Invictus. They had plenty of stuff to keep us focused on with Invictus. They had commercials and everything else. They dropped 2 videos in the same week on the same subject. I mean, that's what's got me kind of curious. I'm not saying it didn't mean anything. It may not mean nothing. They may not have had nothing on their schedule. I don't know. But to your point, you're right, Fastcart. You're absolutely right. Kelosal, what were you going to say?
I mean, there could be plenty of other reasons for that. We don't know. I mean, it may be simpler than why just this week. It may just because they thought that it was just the right time to put it out. It may be because they've heard a little bit from the community. It may have heard a little bit of an uproar saying, things about gameplay and things like that. If you paid attention in the game, I certainly believe that some of that is already in. And that leads to Fastcart's point in terms of we don't know when it was put out, but it could have been put out anytime between the last month and a half, or at least created, right? Made within the last month and a half. And which meant that he did say he was going to put some iterations out in the next patch. Well, was the next patch a week ago? Was it yesterday? Or was it the last patch, or is it in the future? Don't know, but if you pay attention in the game, there are certain points that Quanta that Quanta slips in. Today, I was happening to be out there today, and I saw an ENC posting today. I don't know if that's a regular mission or not, but it said head out to the ENC. You got to this comm ray because somebody was deactivating the comm ray. So I go ahead and go out there. I didn't get out there within the appropriate time. They gave me 2 time periods. One that said 4 minutes. There's no way I can get 30 million kilometers in 4 minutes. Mm-hmm. So I got there within about 6 using a Harbor, a Vanguard. And I got there, the comm ray was off. And of course, there were 2 series that showed up before it. One that said the comm ray got shut off, you were too late. And then it led to the next one. Please go ahead and stop them deactivating it. And then they deactivated before I got there, so I was too late. So by the time I got there, a ship was gone, but I still had about 40 seconds to go ahead and reactivate the comm ray. Now it's not going to take 40 seconds to reactivate that comm ray if you've done the comm ray reactivation. It takes a lot of time, to do that. So then there was a one previous before that. There was some dude named Bam, and it wasn't a player. It wasn't a player. I was actually chasing an NPC around Crusader. So I believe that there are certain instances of Quanta that are already in game. You just got to pay attention to the information that comes across your screen at the top of your screen. If you pay attention to it and select that bracket or brace button, you should be able to select that mission and at least be a part of the VNPC, the virtual AI that Tony was talking about. I do believe it's in there, at least certain iterations. I've seen it at least multiple times and been a part of it at least twice.
Can I add to that too, Kelosal? I was thinking of the trade when you were mentioning the notification. Those trade notifications are wonderful. I mean, I think that's a bit of content right there. Yeah, because they change. You go to one place that might be sold for less, and then an hour later that you come back and it's worth more. I think that's part of it starting right there.
Yeah,
you muted.
I'm sorry. Glade said something in the chat, which is very true. Don't forget that CIG does drop stuff in that we don't know about. And so to both of you guys' points, there are things that they could be testing and we're just not completely up on. But I don't want to hang on this too long. I just kind of want to get your feedback on what you thought about this whole AI thing dropping in right in the middle of Invictus. And I want to jump into Invictus. One of the things I want to tell those of you in our chat today, we're doing a giveaway. We're doing a special giveaway at the end of the show. We're doing 3 items today. So stick around. Trust me, you'll want to be around for this giveaway that we do today. And we'll let you know when that's ready. For now, we're going to jump right into the show and start talking about some of the stuff in relation to Invictus. For those who don't know anything about Invictus, we hear about Invictus, the Navy, ships, Javelin, all that stuff. Dark Knight, would you give us the history of Invictus? Yes. Tell everybody what Invictus is so we're all on the same page.
All right, let me put on my inner historian here and give you some lore. So Invictus launch week, Fleet Week, is an event held the last week of May and marks the beginning of the new recruiting year and graduation of the latest class of officers and pilots of the United Empire of Earth Navy, UEEN. It originated in 2542 during the First Tevaran War. It was between 2541 and 2546. When the United Planets of Earth, the UPE Tribunal, in need of new soldiers in the face of the Tevaran invasion, sent transports from star system to star system to pick up volunteers and transport them to UPE Naval Base Invictus on Mars, Sol 4. It was established as a yearly event under Imperator Ivar Messer the first, I think, in 2581. Today, although Invictus Base no longer exists, the event is still celebrated by the UEE Navy under the same. Thank you.
I love those messers.
Yes, yeah.
Create a mess or something.
Yeah, those messes, they're a mess. That's you about right on that. That's what the messes are a mess. All right. So yeah, I mean, for those of you who, if you had to put it in a nutshell, Vandex Vex, thank you so much for the follow. And Howling Mad Dog, I'm sorry if I didn't get a chance to shout out at you. And Dreadful Soul, thank you guys for the follows as well. Basically, you know, the UEE thing is like recruitment week, right? It's the time to, when you come into the convention hall, there's that big statue there, and it's their propaganda time to get you to sign up for the UEE Navy. And again, this is our second year that we've been able to take advantage of that in game. Let me ask a couple of questions here, since that's the purpose, is recruitment and stuff. I'm going to jump right down to number 3, guys. I talked about this on another show last week. What are some things that can be done to make Invictus more meaningful than just the fact of us walking around a convention center? 80% of the ships, maybe 90% of the ships are ships we've flown or seen. 10% is either a hologram or a new ship. What do you think CIG can do in the future for Invictus that makes it more involved? In other words,
I know.
They could.
Everybody's got an answer for this one.
Go ahead.
They can start off with, I mean, I'm quite sure we got all the Pink Floyd lovers in the chat and things like that. They can start off with a certain amphitheater in shape of a dome, and they can go ahead and fill in those seats, right? And just give you seats where everybody walks in, and they sit down, and that whole dome, everybody is watching the history of Invictus. Okay, the histories of Invictus before you get into the actual exhibition halls.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think that'd be fantastic if they gave you something immersive like that. Everybody's watching that. It's probably going to be about 2-3 minutes, and then when the doors open up, you open up right into the exhibition hall. Right after you've watched the history of Invictus. That way, at least everybody can at least know the lore of the show and things like that, and things like that. And maybe they can have that time, you know, right along with the ship's timing. They can sit there and say, you know, an amphitheater for the history of it or what have you. That'll be one good way of doing that. You know, and maybe when they open those doors, maybe it's a ship that's in concept, or maybe it's a ship that everybody's waiting for, some type of elaborate ship that you can walk through as you're walking through it. But you know, that'll be one cool thing.
But didn't they have a little piece of your idea? You know, when you came off the elevators, you had the big hologram guy with the hat right there, kind of greeting you. Would that be kind
when
of
he works? He wasn't always working.
That's true. There were some days where he wasn't there. He was on his coffee break or something. He wasn't standing there. But I know, to Colosal's point, I do like the idea of something that introduces you, because I hate to say it, those little plaques that they got on the wall and stuff, I ran past those suckers like 8 or 9 times before I realized the plaques were on the wall. I
mean, I'm sorry. I live in Florida, right? I live in the entertainment capital of the world. So, how many of you guys have been to Disney World or Disneyland, where you first go into the room and it's like, stop, wait, listen, look at the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You're looking at all this stuff as far as an intro, and as soon as it opens the world, it's like the magical world of Jurassic Park, you know? And that's where you can get to that hologram, Griff, after you looked at the entire a history of it, and you walk out those doors, and there's that hologram that says, "Welcome to the UEE exhibition hall."
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So that'll be one way.
All right, DK, give me your. What would be the one thing you would suggest that they do to make, you know, the whole Invictus thing a bit more engaging, so that people aren't just running around a convention hall and running back downstairs and leaving? Silver 74, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow.
Silver. I think Kelosal had a great idea. I like that. To add to that, maybe they can start doing some tours or something like that, like they had on the Bengal, or not in Bengal and Javelin. Where they have have AI walking around giving some information about the ships as opposed to having walking up to a plaque. They can give some some kind of a presentation or something like that every couple hours, kind of like what you see at a car show. You go to a car show, they got a little presentation going on every couple hours. Here's the car, walk around, show you all the little spots. They can open up the, open doors and stuff like that, or have somebody to take you on a tour inside the larger ship. I think that could be really cool. I think that'd be really, really cool. And that adds into what Tony Z's Quanta there.
I like the idea of
are you talking?
Go ahead, fastcart.
Just to clarify, are you talking about like a college tour, like an NPC guide you around the ship or something like that?
Something like that inside of a ship. They don't have to take you all around the halls, but maybe someone just standing outside of the ship, walking back and forth and just giving information.
That's what I was going to say, like the auto show idea you gave it. Yeah, the auto show idea is the thing, because it's very easy for them to take those holograms, like they've got a new Babbage. They could easily have a hologram right there that's just giving that, explanation. It doesn't even have to be a hologram. I mean, it'd be great if they used the AI like they did, like you said, on the Javelin.
From the Javelin.
Something like that, that's on that platform with the ship, talks about it, blah, 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 blah. Because right now, like you said, I hate to say it, it is a little boring to just walk up and see this little plaque that you got to read that distant in the future. I really would want something that's a little more interactive, And it would be really cool if it was so interactive that you could like click on it like we do with those other holograms in New Babbage, and you could ask it certain things and and get responses from it. I like that idea, Dark Knight. That's pretty cool. FC, what about you? What would be something you think they could add to Invictus that would make people want to come back, participate, and be at it?
Yeah, my idea isn't interactive. My idea is more like remember the reunion trailer that they did 3 months back. Make one of those about Invictus. I know they did an Invictus trailer this year, but it's just it's like a slideshow. It's basically it doesn't have a real story behind it. I'm talking about having something like reunion with a story. You can even do part 1 and part 2, or just do one part.
Okay. I would love to see them create some type of dynamic event based around Invictus. I would love for something to happen where when you go to Invictus, you literally, I know this is going to sound crazy, but me and Kelosal are there. When we go there, there's a guy at those recruitment stations that they had empty seats that ask us to sign up.
I saw that.
And when we sign up, something takes place that week that we respond to.
That would be cool.
And that would be a part of me why I should go. Maybe when we go, we're getting daily briefings about something that's happening. And then all of a sudden, like Kelosal said, he's talking about how the ECN notice comes up. Maybe there's something that pops up in our notes where we're called to arms, called to duty, and we have to respond to something in the system. And it could be anything, but I would love to see some type of dynamic event. I always go back to my Star Wars Galaxy days, Kelosal. Remember the thing when the Empire would show up, people would pick up and whatever they were doing, drop it and you'd go. I would love to see something like that tied into Invictus where I'm actually signing up as a recruit or something like that. There's something more interactive than it just being about the convention hall and that's it. They had those great recruitment stations, but nobody there to talk to when you went there. To me, there's that should have been something active in that event. Go ahead, FC.
My question for you is: would it be just for you as a solo player, or you want, you get a bunch of recruits and you also up at certain times?
As I mentioned, I use it as the example of dynamic event, like what happened with Xeno. Remember with Xeno?
Okay.
I'm saying something similar to that. It could have been. We could have put, what's the name of that harbor? The joint out there in space, the station, Jericho Station. We could have had something happen at Jericho Station again. You know what I mean? And it could have been in response, like you said, fastcart. If I happen to be on, it pops up on my Moby Glass to respond there, And maybe it was to go there to hear some special speech. Maybe a Javelin parked there saying it was on some secret mission and blah. But I'm just saying that there needs to be some type of purpose beyond. We're past the point of running over there to go look at the latest ship. I guess that's what I'm saying. It was cool the first year, but now the place needs to become more functional.
I never get tired of looking at the F8. You speak for yourself. I'm never get tired of F8.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it is cool, but I'm just saying I would love for there to be purpose that extends through the week. You know what I mean? And it's just not, like if it's Anvil Day, well, I'm looking for the Anvil ship because I heard they got a sale going on. I'd love to see more game related interaction in it. But that's just my 2 cents on it. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about what we saw this week. We already kind of touched on the Scorpius a little bit. Let's go down the list real quick. Kelosal, did you buy one? Yes or no?
Yes.
Fastcart, did you buy a Scorpius? Yes or no?
No.
You passed. Dark Knight, did you buy one?
Yeah.
Nope.
Wow.
Put that money towards computer stuff.
Wow. Okay. So Kelosal and I both went for the Scorpius. FC Dark Knight, you didn't. I
might get a CCU. Depends on the last couple of days of the sale and how I feel.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question, and I'll start with you, Dark Knight, because you guys were on the no side. What was your? And I'm not saying you should have bought one. I'm just kind of curious. What made you hold your wallet? That's the whole thing. Whether you hold your wallet or not, right? What made you hold your wallet?
You know what? I thought about it. I just didn't. I didn't feel I actually needed it.
Okay.
Because I was going to buy it just for nostalgia.
Okay, but
and
didn't need it.
You know what? I didn't need it.
You were being practical.
I was like, you know what? I'll take that money. I'll add some, quadruple the storage on my computer. I needed that anyway, and
there you
I
go.
really needed that. So.
Okay. You're being practical. That's good. Fastcart, what about
and
you?
I'm holding off for another ship.
Okay.
Yeah, right. No, for me, I was this close to getting it, but at first I didn't know whether or not the remote turret would be usable by the pilot, and then they gave out the Q&A and the other stuff that said you need a blade in order for the remote turret to be usable by the pilot. Right. And I was this close to getting it, and I have so many. I have 15, 16 ships in my fleet right now, and I didn't want to add a 17th ship, so I was looking for a ship that I could TCU from. And after a while, I was like, okay, well, I had a Super Hornet. I could just make do with the Super Hornet. I don't really need the Scorpions, even though it looked like an X-wing and a wing forward and everything like that. Plus, I don't like how if you lose a wing, your firepower goes down. I mean, otherwise, of course, it'd be too powerful if it didn't have some kind of weakness. But that didn't grab me, so I'm gonna pass on it.
Okay, Dark Knight. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but Fastcart got all these brothers with him, and he always talking about flying ships by himself. Have you noticed that? He's always talking about some blade or some NPC. He got a whole bunch of brothers.
I am a night owl. You guys are not going to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
He don't, Kelosal, I get the feeling he don't want us to fly with him, man. That's what I'm starting to think, man. I don't know what the scoop is with that, man. It's a 2-seater. He ain't even inviting us to get. We always invite each other. Hey, you want to fly my ship? Yeah, okay. Fastcart's like, nah. Once those blades come in, I'll see you guys later. So I just, oh no. Okay. So Kelosal, let me go to you now. What tempted you? What made you end up going ahead and getting the Scorpius?
There were 2 reasons. Well, there could be 2 reasons, right? So the first reason was obviously I wanted to go ahead and continue on helping Chris Roberts develop this game by giving him the money to help him develop the game. The second reason was that I did not have a heavy ship, So I wanted one. Everybody kept talking about the Vanguards. Get those Vanguards, and I didn't get one. I'm not a huge Vanguard fan. So when I did see this and saw the specs that it had on it, I was like, okay, it's either the Vanguard or this ship right now. So let me just go ahead and just get this one and at least have a heavy fighter in my inventory because I wanted a heavy fighter. Okay. I thought this was a good deal to get.
Okay. And I got one because my other count, I didn't have any fighters in it, and I thought it was a good excuse to get a fighter just to try it out. I'm curious about how the chip's going to turn out. I'm not buying the current specs on it yet. Moriar said something here. The size 1 shields paired with the huge cross section of the Scorpius is not really worth flying. And I know for some people that's the case. Fastcart, you mentioned about the loss of a wing. I hate to say this, but you can say loss of a wing on any plane for that matter. You can lose your missiles and everything on most of the ships. That one's got 4 wings. If you lose one, you got 3. So I get what you're saying, though, in the sense of the loss of firepower. My thing is this, and I'm just saying this as a point of encouragement to everybody in chat. John Cruz said something last week that was really important. He made a statement and said that every ship in the game is going to be reevaluated and redone. Now, I don't mean that they're going to come up with crazy off numbers, but I think what they're starting to say is we kind of know where we are now with balancing, and we want to start tweaking the ships more toward balance. Now, of course, balance is going to be a continual thing, Every ship has its weakness. There is no Frankenstein ship that has the best shields, best guns. There's nothing in the game like that. There's always going to be some
Except
deficit.
the 890.
No, the 890, no, not by any means. Not by any means. All the ships have some issue, right? I mean, even if you've got the most powerful this and powerful that, maybe it's going to be weight factor when you're in atmosphere or the way it flies. There's always going to be something. For those Myst lovers out there, what's your biggest hate? That little small window, right? That you can't see everything out of. I mean, and they've said that. They said every ship is going to have its Achilles heel or its difficulty. For some ships, they have the great view where you can see everything. For some ships, you got struts. I mean, there's some purpose behind them doing that. So I would say just stay sharp on the specs, buy wisely, you know, buy what you feel comfortable with. But I think that we're all going to kind of have to flex a little bit once they start balancing these ships out more and more.
In addition to that, Griff, they put out a video on ships, a very, very good video out on ships. That NPC video was something that somebody who really wanted to learn that should watch. Other than that, you know, I had to take a Dramamine to get through that. But the thing is, as far as the video that they put out on ships, they basically said that along with the changes, you know, they're putting in the physical damage, guys, which means that now you're going to get that huge HP when it comes to armor. This game is not designed for you to blow up ships. And they clearly said that in this video. It is not designed for you to blow up ships. It is designed for you to disable it. So the other ships can go ahead and use its functionalities like it's supposed to. We have a vulture, we have a reclaimer, we have other ships that are supposed to be used necessarily for that. Piracy careers. So now you get to see.
Blow up a ship, you can't pirate nothing if you blow up a ship.
Now correct. Now you get to see who's a pirate. And who's a griefer? Because a griefer is going to destroy your ship just for the hell of it. A pirate is going to see what worth does taking this ship have for me. Okay, and maybe the components and things like that. So go ahead, fastcart.
That's another reason for me not to get one, because I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, good luck. You're gonna be turning into a fighter real quick. If you learn from me, right?
Yeah. But you know what, Kelosal, to your point, this also kind of is changing. And I know change is hard, right? But it is in some way changing the way players are going to look at a game like Star Citizen, because in most games, our ultimate goal is to go in and destroy, right? It's to kill, destroy, move on, you know, plow down, whatever the case may be. The strategy of targeting components, for example, right? We've talked about this whole thing of targeting components, shutting down an engine or targeting a ship so that you knock out their hyperdrive, things like that, so that you can board, so that you can logistically think about, okay, it's a hull D. We know this sucker just came from taking this haul from such and such when we scanned it. How do we get all this cargo back to our place where we can make money off of it, right? I mean, they are changing the way a lot of, and we talk about combat. Now, don't get me wrong, we're talking about a different level of combat when we're talking about battles, right? And we're talking about org battles over territory, something like that. But when it comes to just the general aspects of the game, there is going to be a different dynamic on how we decide to interact with other players in the game. And it's something that we're all going to have to adjust to, I think, because it is a little different. It really is. I love when I run into a true pirate in a game. I really do. You know, the person who puts that thing out there for me and I have to negotiate, you know, or gives me that threat. That does not bother me. I have never been bothered when somebody has come to me and said, pay me 20,000 or, you know, we'll blow up your ship. I don't have any problems with that. I have a problem when somebody just boom, blows up my ship and just that takes off. It's like, what was that all about? You know, what's that all about? But that's just me, you know, I mean, it's just me, you know. But now I'll get people who will ask me for 20,000 and still blow me up. So I'll get it the other way too. So, okay, let's move on to the next ship. And this is Kelosal, who could talk about this one, because I don't own one. I don't know if Fastcart or Dark Knight, but the Idris. Back again this year. Nothing really new about it other than seeing it fly around, right?
Well, you won't see anything about it until after Squadron 42. It's just that simple.
Right. Now my question to you was this. Were there improvements to it this year, Kelosal? Because last year the Idris was janky, right? Was it better this year? I know there were problems with the Bingle, as far as animations and things like that. But how was the Idris? Because I never got a chance to see the Idris in the game this year. I mean, during Invictus.
Yes, Kusanagi, I do. I do.
What's he talking about?
I mean, it's like answer questions, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't. You know what, Griff? I really don't know. Other than the fact that when we were testing it for Invictus, it was hitting the Bengal. When we were testing it. And then it seems like after a couple of tests and things like that, from the PTU to live, it seems like they got it right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now she's just an escort. You know, it was, I think they had 2 of them at first, and now it's just 1,
mm-hmm.
and a couple of hammerheads and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I haven't seen that much of a focus for the Idris. Every time I see the Idris, I'm like, yeah, there go my baby, but boy, that javelin looks nice. You know, so I try to stay at least focused away from the size and at least the scope of why I need to use it for.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than lighting,
mm-hmm.
I really haven't seen much.
Okay.
Done other than the bangle or the javelin.
Okay, I want to address something that Moriar is asking. Moriar, I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying, because I think I may have come across the wrong way. You said you disagree with the statement wholeheartedly. Risk versus reward. It's faster and safer to kill a target instead of trying to shut it down and then try to loot it. When it can be killed, then loot it and get out of town before his backup has even scrambled. Okay, so let me give you an example of what I mean. When you say a target, why is it a target? Let me ask that question. If you can type that in real quick, that'll be very helpful, because there are different reasons for having a target, right? There's some things that are a threat, right? And I get what you're saying. If it's a threat, yeah, absolutely. No question about it. My question is, what we're trying to say is that there are career aspects of the game that even if you are the type of person who's a combat person, your attitude may not always be shoot to kill. Your attitude may shift and say, hey, it's lucrative for me to take the ship, not just take cargo, right? Anything is a target? Really, Moriar? Anything?
Okay.
Wow.
That's griefer. You're griefing.
That's it. That's interesting.
Prime definition.
That's interesting. No, he doesn't have to be a groofer, but he says anything is a target. Okay, he says, so i.e. like a cat, right? Okay, so here's the deal, Moriar. Let's say that instead, when you target that ship, your idea when we talk about piracy is not to unload it, but to take the whole freaking cat and everything. And nobody's going to be able to scramble and get there fast enough for that. If you're out in space, you and I both know it takes time, right? Unless your boys are already flying somewhere nearby. If they're sitting in the coffee shop on Port Olisar, just to take the train and everything, they're not going to get there fast enough. So is it easier for you to say, hey, there's a cat there. We can hit that sucker, get in there within the next 5 minutes because we know how to do it. And we can walk away with a cat loaded full of diamond or whatever it is? Or is it just easier to say, well, there's a cat there, it's a target, let's blow it up? I'm saying I think that when it comes to being lucrative and making money in the game, you might choose to make that money as long as you know you can get away with it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, once again, even in real life, I mean, what's going to give you everything if you blow it up?
Yeah, well,
nothing,
because you don't get no points
if the stuff inside is still intact. And like I said, that's why they're saying that they are not going towards that blow up moment. They're going towards disabling ships. You got to go ahead and throw out a beacon. You got their ships that we got the SRV that's out there, and so they're putting these other. You got to realize, guys, these ships have functionalities, and not one ship is going to be the He-Man or the She-Ra of the galaxy. It's just not going to happen. So you gotta go. If your ship is there as a hauler, it's gonna haul. If your ship is there as a, my ship just broke down, I need an SRV, then that's what the SRV is gonna be there for. They're not looking for everybody blowing up ships for the sake of blowing up ships. They're making it specifically so you can go ahead and be immersive, and so you can tweak what you need to tweak inside the ships. And so your ships can be disabled, so you can use these other ships for their functionality.
Right.
Good luck if you're just blowing up ships just for the hell of it and thinking that everything's going to be still there. It's not.
CC Creator, thank you for that follow. And let's say this: I don't want to take anything. If people want to do that, feel free, because the game is going to be built into what will be the response to that as well. And so, as long as people understand the response, if you're targeting ships, I'm not talking about if you're in uncontrolled space, but if you're in controlled space, obviously there's going to be some concern about the UEE coming after your NPCs and you're getting a crime stat. If you do it in uncontrolled space, now you got to worry about whether or not you become notorious, which may be great for some people. That's going to be great. The notoriety is great. It'll be interesting to see whether or not your notoriety pops up in some form in game. In other words, will CIG broadcast something about you, even though it's not really official? Will they say, hey, there's a person in this certain system who's, there's a reputation going on about this person? Maybe that's what some people want. Maybe they're not worried about making the credits or being able to pull that great cat that has loaded full of stuff. They want that type of notoriety.
You can file charges.
But I was going to say, but now you've got to worry about the person who hires bounty hunters against you or coming after you. And I'm just saying, there's a lot of dynamics that can happen in the game that can still keep it fun, whichever way you decide to play. Whichever way you decide to play. Yeah, FC.
I just got to push back a little bit on Kelosal, saying what ship will give you loot when you destroy it? A pinata, like a hull C or hull D or a hull E. You can blow up the main ship, and everything, most of the cargo should still be okay.
Let's deal with the reality of that. If you blow up one of those ships, if you remember what happens when you blow up a ship like that, you got to retrieve all that stuff. Once it's all spread out, it ain't no joke at that point. You're better off taking that ship with everything on it and jumping out of there than figuring you're gonna blow that ship up and then try to get them boxes. That'd be a waste of time to me. I wouldn't even think about trying to retrieve them boxes if somebody blow it up. I'd be like, y'all could have it, but that's just me. Okay, that's just me. Okay, all right. Let's move on here to the next ship. That was an interesting point, Moriar. Thanks for tossing that in there. The Javelin. Did you guys get to do the Javelin tour?
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
Yes.
I thought it was great.
I like the briefing one part the best, where they showed the inner workings of it, and I like the guy in the shoot, I can't think of the bed. By the bed.
Oh,
the NPC who
stood there talking about his socks.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. In the barracks, the crewman in the barracks.
Thank you. That's what I couldn't think of it. I like that guy, and so yeah, I enjoyed the tour.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the animations this year? Especially for those of you who remember the Morrow tour back in the day. What did you think of the animated characters who spoke?
So they were
I think they're getting better. Yeah. Yeah, they're getting better. They're getting crisper and cleaner, and they have a little more animation and more more movement in the face. It looks like they actually have a personality.
So, yeah, I mean,
Untitled Dolly is real.
I mean, cheers to the art team. I thought they were doing good. If you stayed in the mess hall, he gave you a nice little debrief on why the captain loves the mess hall, because he wants everybody to be eating in the mess hall, including him coming there and chilling with the crew. And it was some little joke that they had in there about the mess hall as well. But but these are the things that I like looking for, especially when I play ED and you walk around, or any game, and you walk around and you're hearing conversations about the lore. Those are things that I like.
Okay.
That's what I like. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, in case you guys did see it pop up in our stream now, we have a question area. If you click on the little solar eclipse on the bottom by the chat box, you can put questions in for us in the game. And when those questions come up, we'll try to respond to them. So, because sometimes in chat, everything flies by really quickly. So if you got any questions, you guys can put it in there. Everybody gets credits for being on this thing. So just click on it, put your question in, and we'll try to respond to it for you guys. Okay,
so I got 105K points. I can ask a 105K question.
No.
I can write on that.
No, I don't think so. Kelosal, you said too short when I mentioned you about what did you think of the tour? You expected to see a little bit more of the ship?
It's a big ship.
Yeah, it is.
It's a big ship.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, I expected to see maybe a little bit more of engineering instead of going to the dark part where Kusanagi's talking about where he thinks this is an MPUV airlocks. I mean, it's a big ship. Yeah. So I was looking for at least maybe to look at the medical wing, a little bit of something. I mean, of course, we had people streaming about breaking into the bridge, but it's a big ship. I mean, I just wish, but I'm not gonna push that, because it's just at least good to at least see that. I definitely got in love with the hologram in the briefing room, Griff, because you know how much I've been pushing that type of visual.
Yep.
Even since the CIG, it's still on Spectrum, by the way, if you guys want to vote on it. But but I've been pushing that type of hologram for a long time, hoping that this CIG put that in there. And I'm not claiming any fame on that one. I just would say that they were on the right path with that, and I enjoyed that as much as possible. Yeah. Good thing.
So would you guys estimate? Go ahead, fastcart. But
I did like getting into the turret and moving the gun around, and then if you hit F4 a couple of times, you can actually see the inside of the ship in certain areas.
Okay. All right, we're gonna Jaja. We'll get to your question in a second.
Oh yeah, okay.
Go ahead, Dark Knight. I was
going to say pretty much what we saw. I think the reason we wouldn't see any more of the Javelin is because of Squadron 42, obviously. And what I think I was looking at it when I was walking through, and I kind of felt like we saw in person what we've seen in video. Like we've seen the briefing room, and we've seen the mess hall, and we've seen the the barracks. But those are the places we've seen in videos and in press and things like that. And now we actually get to see them and walk through them and things like that. I wasn't expecting to see all of that. I expected, I was not expecting as much as we got because of the fact that they're holding that off for Squadron.
Okay. Let me ask this to Kelosal's question. I think we saw maybe, I hate to say this, maybe I'm wrong. I'm just trying to base it upon the layouts that I've seen for the decks on that ship. We may have seen only about 1/8 of that ship.
Yep. I was going to say 10%.
Yeah, maybe 10%, 8 to 10% of that ship, an eighth or 10% of the ship. Is that overwhelming? Is that something that when we think about what it's going to take to manage a ship of that size, when we think about, a lot of times we think about manning, help me out here if I'm missing something. We're talking about turret operators. We're talking about engineering people, right? Taking care of things like components and things of that nature. We're talking about navigation people, scanning people, command people, pilots, co-pilots. I think a Javelin has like six stations in it, or 8 stations in the deck, upper deck. What is it going to take to operate a ship like that, in the game? What are some things?
A lot of money.
A lot.
An org.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was looking at the show that you were on, Griff, and you and Fastcart. By the way, y'all did a good job. I enjoyed the show. And I typed in, I said, I just think of it as a house. It's basically a floating house.
Didn't you say raid?
Huh?
You said raid?
Call it a raid.
No, I said relay. Did I say raid or raid?
No. You said relay. He said relay. We started about the show.
I said relay. Okay, the show that you guys were on, and it's a floating house. It's pretty much you or not. If you're thinking that you're going to go ahead and take that ship and you're dismissing the cost, the maintenance, just the fuel of it is just like Griff said. Griff's word was astronomical. I would question your judgment in buying the ship for you. It's just too overwhelming the way how CIG is designing this game for you to have a ship of that magnitude and not have a specific org on it on a daily, maybe hourly basis. That ship is going to cost a lot of resources.
Yeah.
So it can be mind-boggling.
Yeah.
You're going to have maybe a 24-hour crew on that one. All time spans, all continents. It's at least to maintain that ship the way you want to.
Yeah. I'm laughing at Moriar's comment. He said, this section of comment is why it's easier to blow it up than deal with boarding it,
It's too big.
Someone last night mentioned that it's basically a raid ship. You're going to need like a 16-man or 10-man raid in order to operate that ship. That's what I mean by raid.
Yeah, but when you're raiding, you ain't doing 10. You're doing 20. You're doing a lot of people when you're raiding.
Yeah. And
I was going to add to that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add to talking about the ship. If it was in game right now, you might be able to solo it with or maybe 2 or 3 friends because the game ain't built for multiplayer right now. But once you get live, one person cannot manage that ship. Not at all. No, you gotta have.
Yeah, but have more than I'm gonna have like my 20 NPCs behind me that I'm paying,
and 40 blades,
and 40 blades, right?
Yeah. Cypress Stone says a good comment. He says that's a whole lot of scrap, right? If it's blown up, it is a whole lot of scrap if it gets blown up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We got to keep those. We got to keep those reclaimers busy somehow.
Yeah. I'm going to share with you some things that we've heard CIG say, and Cass, please help me if I miss something or say something incorrectly. One of the things that CIG has told us is that ships based upon value, the more the value, the harder it is to get rid of. So you're not going to easily blow up an Idris. There's not going to be what you've seen in the NPC scenarios where a bunch of hammerheads get up against the Idris and push it down to a moon and make it crash. That ain't going to happen. So put those things out of your mind. And think about it in relation to, you know, if someone pays I don't care how much the money is. Let's just pick a number of let's pick something like Caterpillar, $275, not going to be easily destroyed. If we're using how ships in the game blow up right now as a measure, you're measuring wrong, guys. Armor's not balanced, shields aren't balanced, even most of the weapons still are off kilter.
The physics are not balanced.
The physics aren't there. The things like Chris talked about with puncturing holes with ballistics and all these other things are nowhere in the game yet. And so taking out a ship, as Kelosal said, they talked about disabling, they also talked about the fact that it will take time to take these ships down. Either way, whether you're disabling or destroying, it's going to take time to do it. The larger the ship, the longer the time frame to take these ships down. Go fastcart.
You know, all this confusion would be stopped if they just called the game an alpha. Oh, wait, they do.
Well, they do, but the problem is that it's not that people call it an alpha, it's the fact that people call it a game. And that makes people quite often think that what they're playing, or they forget that what they're playing is not what it's going to be later on. So things are going to get toughened up more. You know, armor's going to get tougher. Shields are going to get tougher. Your playing is going to become more strategic. And so I'm just saying this because I want everybody to kind of keep in perspective what fastcart said. It is in alpha. And so right now, everybody's swallowing these statistics and talking about this particular shield and this particular weapon and what it does. That's all great for now, but for those of us who've been around, we've seen it change 2, 3, 4 times already. It's going to change again. But all I'm saying is that when it comes down to operating these ships, combat, all that stuff is going to be, it's intended to be something that we work for and not something that you can just go out there in 5 minutes and do. And that's just the way the game's going to be. And I think that might be a turnoff for some people.
Yes, slightly off topic, but I think the game is called Star Citizen Alpha. But I think some people get to the point where people think the alpha in the name is just part of the name. It's not the state of the game.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing too is that I don't remember too many games that we ever played that were in alpha. Do you guys know too many games that you ever played that were in alpha? Yeah.
No, unless I'm like an alpha tester or something like that, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying, right. I'm saying, you know, beta is where most folks come in at when they're building the game, right? So
Space
the question,
Engineers alpha? Didn't they come out
they call it early access. I don't know, it's so hard to say because they use that term early access and I can't never figure out what that's supposed to mean.
Early access is beta. If they're saying early access, you're in beta.
You're in beta.
So you're pretty much in beta after because everything's done. So they just bring you in and clean up. So that's if it says early access, you're not an alpha. If it says early access.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the last but not least. The Bengal carrier made its appearance in the game. A little janky, but it made its appearance in the game. Some people got some smooth frames when it came in. Some other people kind of just saw it jerk its way around the station. Did any of you guys get a chance to see? I didn't get to see it. I never did get to see it. Did any of you guys?
You didn't get to see it?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get to see it within the next 24 hours. But I saw the javelin plenty of times, but I never saw the Bengal.
Oh,
I saw the Bengal. It was cool. I didn't have too many frames.
I got to fly beside it and make sure I didn't crash into it or you know set up any alarms or criminal stats or anything like that. But I got a good look at it and I was satisfied. It's a big ship.
Did you guys? Did you get? Oh wow!
Hey,
Uber nerd.
Oh, thank you, Uber nerd.
Thank you,
07.
Uber nerd. All the nerds are coming over.
All the nerds are coming in.
So much. Uber nerd, the madman of voices himself, sitting over his crew. Uber nerd, we appreciate you as always. Hey, all these nerds that are just coming in, Uber nerd, you need to hear this too. And by the way, we didn't get a chance. We were going to mention at the end of the show, but since we got a group of people came in, fastcart is helping put together our next virtual bar citizen. It's going to be held on June the 12th. And you guys, fastcart, if you can give them a link for it, that would be great. If you guys want to join in on that, it's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So it's on a Saturday. in the afternoon. So those of you who are in the UK and on the other side of the water, you guys can join in with us this time. Last time it was at 7 in the evening, which means it was 2 o'clock in the morning for you guys. We understood, but this time we've got it at a better time for you guys. So hopefully you all can participate. We're going to have some fun there for the virtual bar citizen. It's being sponsored by, well, not just us. Yacht Club is involved in it, and we're growing it. We're going to have one in June, one in August, and then one for hopefully Star Citizen Weekend in October. So try to get to this next one though. Seating is limited, and I'm not saying that to be funny. It is limited because there's only so many people we can have in the chat. So make sure you guys sign up for it if you want to join in on it. Feldus, thank you so much for that follow. We appreciate it. And Uber Nerd, thanks again, buddy. As always, you are the best. Let me type that in. You are the best. All right. Thank you, Uber Nerd. Okay. Here's my question to you guys. Think back to that original Star Citizen video when we saw the Bengal carrier for the first time. The whole thing with the Vandal ship and the asteroids and all that. Did you feel that sense of proportion and scale? Did the ship, was it equal to that size? Did it seem a little smaller? Was it a little bit bigger than you thought? What was your reaction to it when you got a chance to go out there by the Bengal carrier?
I thought it was hard to put a scale to, because you're in a ship and you fly it away, or you're flying your ship in third person, and you're looking at your ship, which looks small, and then you're trying. I think the largest, the best perspective I got was when the Idris was flying next to it. Okay. And then I already knew how big an Idris was, and so I got a little bit more perspective. Oh, this thing's about 2 times, almost 3 times as long as the Idris is, so I got a good idea. And then I think I saw somebody try to land a hammerhead or something on the bow of it, on the deck, and then I saw the Bengal one-shot the hammerhead out of the sky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why?
I thought that was awesome.
Are you serious? He one-shot him? That was it? Oh, that's hilarious.
It was a one-shot.
I saw him one-shot a couple other ships out there, but I didn't see anything as big as a hammerhead. Wow. Okay.
Oh, man.
I was too afraid to fly that close to it, because I didn't want to get blown up. So my sense of scale is still off on the Bengal myself.
Okay. Klaus, what about you?
Well, when like I said, when it was in PTU, the ship wasn't moving. It was stuck. So it was stuck right in deep space. So we all basically were flying ships on it, and I was getting out of it and things like that and so forth. Somebody flew a Constellation on top of the landing zone area where there's a landing right in the front, that whole strip. And the Connie was like this big. Okay, wow. So it all depends on where you're looking at it at. If you're looking at Farwell, you're like, the ship isn't that big.
Okay.
But as soon as you get out, and as soon as you start, EVAing and things like that, or you take one of those ships and you go on top of the landing, you start realizing how big the ship is.
Okay.
It's all about spectrum, but that ship is huge. That ship is huge.
Okay. All right, cool.
And also for me, it's been a while since I've seen that trailer with the Bengal on it, so my memory is a bit fuzzy. But I know it is big, but I don't have a sense of how big it is just yet.
Okay. Read the scroll. Yeah. Thank you for the follow. We appreciate that.
Let's put it this way: those large guns at the bottom is as big as an Idris.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
They are.
Okay.
How big the ship
wow.
is.
I'm gonna have to go
just
out
means
there.
They're compensating for something colossal. That's all that means.
I'm gonna have to go out there and take a look at it. Then I'm gonna have to see it before it leaves. Thank you for telling me that. Okay, let's jump away from all this, the big ships and everything, and let's start talking about some other stuff in the game that we've seen. Here we go, and the Tumbrel Nova was something that we saw coming a little while ago. For those of you who are in PTU, even a little bit before you got a chance to dabble with this particular vehicle, it's our first tank that we have in the game. Let me go to you guys and get some feedback real quick. What are your feelings about the Tumbrel tank, and what does it bring to the game? I mean, it's another vehicle. It's a different vehicle. Any thoughts on it, Dark Knight, in relation to the Tumbrel?
I think that the Tonk is. I think it brings some interesting gameplay for people that use it. Not just gameplay from the game, like missions and things like that. I think it's player-generated gameplay that we're going to find a whole lot of. I found a video over the weekend, and it was a Tonk battle royale. It was like about 8 different Tonks out having a battle on Daymar, and they were just firing.
People recreating World of Tanks in Star Citizen already.
Literally,
is that what you're telling me?
Already.
Let's do it.
Literally. I mean, it was just exciting to see, tanks kilometers apart, and they're just firing back and forth on each other. And I mean, really was an exciting thing. And that was one of the things I see with player, driven gaming and things like that. But I think the Tonk itself, as its own vehicle, I think it'd be great for ground invasions, like going to bunker missions and things like that, especially if those get bigger and you're going to require more multiplayer to be able to take over, say, a bunker or something like that.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot of those are coming very handy, I think. Yeah.
Okay. FC?
That's okay.
Let me get the FC and I'll get your class.
I'm more of a rover person than a Tonk person. Don't hate me for that, but that's just my preference. But I do like the technical hurdles that they had to get over in order to bring the Tonk to life. Like you just saw on the screen the tread and the track for the treads and everything like that. How they had to make sure that it didn't take too much of the process from the server or your PC in order to go, because that is a lot of math and continually doing math. So I mean the resources that you had to, the resources in order to get the Tonk to working in game is impressive. So I do like it from that aspect. But as far as owning one, I'm more of a rover person.
Okay. Kelosal, what about you?
I mean, as far as the latter part, I'm with fastcart because I'm all about exploration. But boy, did they hit this out of the park with this. I mean, this Tonk is amazing. I mean, somebody said Tonk Nova Tank hypes. I mean, it'd be nice if we had 50 people in game going to one area and just doing 25 v25 on just Tonks. Right, and it's transported all in by C2s, M2s, or whatever. just C2s and M2s. That's it. You can't use any other transportation other than the C2 and M2 to transport those tanks, and you just having a 25 v25 fight. Set it up, folks. Let's do it. I'm there. I'll go ahead and do it if I can borrow somebody's Tonk. But because I don't have a Tonk yet, I'm really interested in it. The one good thing about this, Griffin, this is just a little bit off topic with the Tonks, because the Tonks are amazing. Get one, find a friend with one, drive one, guys. It's a great tank. The one good thing about it is, because of the hard work that they put in with those with the movement of it, a lot of people who have the Vanguard look at those treads. They were talking they asked the question about, since they have the technology would they put it in for the Vanguard? And the answer was yes.
Right.
They said they were going to do that, but it's not priority.
Right.
It's not priority.
Right.
So those of you guys that got Vanguards and you were waiting for that, you're going to get it sometime within the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Okay.
You'll get it.
So I was just
trying.
Go to FC.
I was just trying to find the price of the Tonk, and I typed in tank. I would type in Tonk, but no, it's actually called a Nova. But everyone calls it the Tonk or the tank. I thought that was the actual name of it. But it's $120, and I mean that's pretty reasonable for that vehicle.
And it went up because that was not the original price. It was $105.
Oh, okay.
Before it went up.
Well, it's still that price if you war bonded.
If you war bonded, okay. Let me ask this question of you then, Kelosal, because you had an experience with something, and I heard someone say, I think it was another content creator, maybe it wasn't. It was somebody said this. They said, "Why would I bother with a tank when I've got a ship that I could just go in and fly and do, and fight and do whatever it can?" Now, one of the and some of you remember when this whole thing came up with vehicles back in the day, when the first vehicles came out. There were people in the community who barked about vehicles coming into the game. They felt like this is a space sim. What does vehicles have to do with anything? Some of you remember that. People were kind of like, I don't get it. Why are we, what are all of a sudden we're going to be doing World of Tanks? And, you know, I mean, that was kind of like the feel, right? But space, I don't think this is a departure from anything of what Chris said. I think space in general, if you are fighting, oh yeah, it was GoMab. Thank you, Fist. If you, it was one of our people, we got to kick him off the team. When you're fighting for space, you're fighting for resources, and resources are not just in space and asteroid belts, but mostly we're talking about moons and planets, and how will you defend them? Now, admittedly, the issue came up about, well, I've got a ship. Why don't I just take my Vanguard in and do the strafing and killing and bombing? Why would I mess around with a tank or a tumbrel Jeep fast cart? Why would I mess around with that stuff? Now, Kelosal had an experience that blew my mind when he told me about this, and I hope I'm not pulling on you too hard to remember what the information was. You took the ballista out a long time ago, and you told me what range you hit a ship at. Do you remember what it was? And tell chat how far away it was when you nailed an aircraft with a ballista.
We had it recorded. Me and Rabbi Hagri went out, and when the ballistas first came out, and it was somewhere between 8,000 to 12,000 kilometers that we hit a retaliator coming in. Okay, and the retaliator got those missiles or those torpedoes, whatever you want to call them, and we hit it out there a long way. So it has a lot of range for the ballista. So these things can be used for defense. You know, I mean, it's 8,000 to 12,000 kilometers.
Right. And the reason why I'm asking, and thank you, Jolly Green, because you were going to the next area I was going. You read my mind, literally. So my point is that as the technology builds up, it may sound great to bring in your aircraft and do certain things, but in order to do some things, you got to slow down. You cannot fly in at Mach whatever and do these things. So when you start slowing down to accomplish whatever that goal is, whether it's targeting, lining up, or whatever, if they start building up these ballistas and tanks the way they have the potential of doing, you may find out that there is a reason not to fly into a certain zone or near a certain base or near a certain org, and the best way to come in may be ground. The other thing is, and what Jolly Green said was this: some planets won't allow flight if the weather conditions suck. So if I want to come into somebody's base, and if I want to do it covertly, for me to come in under the guise of weather, and let's assume this too, you know, even though we know eventually things like infrared and heat will come in, even if it's a night attack flying in, there's a whole lot of variables involved in that, where going in with your ship may not be the best way to do it. It may be better, like Kelosal said, to that C2 or M2 to drop 20 tanks that can come in from different angles to your base at night, or when there's bad weather. They're protected, mind you, in that tank, but they come in and attack your base. And while you're trying to find your ship out in that dust storm, they're laying into you. So there's a lot of scenarios that can be played out here so that it's not restricted to aircraft or restricted to vehicles, right? I think they're giving us tools to be able to play the game the way we want. Go ahead, fastcart.
We beat me to the point I was going to make. I was going to say, like, let's say you have a pioneer and you're building a base, or you have a homestead that's already established. If someone comes to attack you, you may not have enough time to get into a ship and get a flight worthy and try to find a target. But if you have a tank or a vehicle parked right beside the base, you could just hop into it if you have enough armor warning and try to fend off the attackers.
Good point. Good point. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get past this one. We know we got a couple questions. No, we'll save the questions for a little bit later because we only got a couple more things to do, and then we'll do questions. The next big one that came up this week, boom, the Starlifter. I have to say this about this particular ship. This is probably the, I almost want to say this ship has received more positive acceptance than any other ship in the game. I think almost even more than the Carrack. I think the Carrack had the Gib dynamic going for it, where this ship didn't. But this ship caught people by surprise, and I think more people liked it and wanted it than they thought that they would. I think when people first heard about it, they was like, Crusader, Orison. But then once they saw this thing, they got excited about it. and all of a sudden I saw people who I never saw worrying about cargo running around in a C2 and an M2. So let me reverse the order this time. Kelosal, your thoughts and feelings, and you know what? Let's start with each ship, because I kind of want to do that instead of just kind of hitting these in general. Let's talk about the C2 first. Civilian model, 2 crew members. Give me your thoughts about how you think CIG did this particular ship.
Did good because people finally saw the specs. When they saw the specs, and you know, they started reacting towards the usage and the fidelity of the ship. I mean, 672 SEU for the C2, and at one point they moved it up to 700, and that was just testing, and they scaled it back. I mean, this ship. I mean, we heard about the armor. We talked about previously about these ships are haulers, and not only that, the armor on this ship will allow you to haul and still get hit and get away. But yeah, when people finally saw the specs, they finally started comparing the worth of the ship to what the functionality of the ship was. I think that amazed a lot of people.
Okay. Dark Knight, let me ask you, the C2, did you get a chance to check the C2 out? Not the M2, C2. Did you get a chance to monkey around with it a little bit? What are your thoughts on it?
I sure did. I thought it was, I think it's a great ship. You know, it makes me confident of what the Starliner is going to be for me. I see where they're going, and I can see how this is going to, you know, I can see what's going to happen with the Starliner. It makes me happy. But this is a great ship anyway for cargo haulers. Now, I myself, I do haul cargo from time to time. I like to do logistics and hauling cargo. But I would prefer to be a pilot of this on somebody else's ship.
Okay.
I didn't feel necessary that I needed it, but I will be, you know, I have enough friends and orgs and whatnot that they've got the ships. I can fly theirs, you know, and use them as necessary. Cool. It's a great ship. It really is.
Okay. FC, how about you? Did you get a chance to fly it or get on board and take a look at it?
I don't know if I got on the C2. I went during the Crusader Day. I went inside one of the ships, and also we have a loaner from the Benny Michigan, and I got to fly it. I think that's an M2. So, it's not something that I would buy personally for part of my fleet at this moment. I do like the cargo size and everything appeals to me, but it's yeah, I already have like the measurement, so I'm not into having another ship like that at the moment. But I do love the look of it, and I like the design. One thing I have been saying is that the Crusader Day is the 3rd most profitable day of this week in Invictus week. Wow. I don't have the numbers for Drake because that's still going on, but Aegis was number 1, RSI Origin Consolidated Argo was number 2, Crusader Industries, Tumble, and Mist was number 3, and then Anvil is number 4 so far.
Okay. Okay, cool. Awesome. I like the C2. It was the first one of the series that I bought. I've kind of progressed since then and upgraded, but I'm considering getting another one. I really am. For the civilian side of movement, I'm really thinking about getting another one. Didn't think I would, but it's on the table right now at least in my brain it is. Let me start back over with Kelosal now. Let's move this step up. We're moving from civilian into military. There were some differences, right, between these two ships. Kelosal, would you talk about what some of the differences are between the C2 and the M2?
Yeah, besides the cargoes, which was almost a 300 SEU loss for the M2, the turrets. The turrets, three size 4 turrets on the M2, 2 size 4s as far as weaponry as well. I mean, and then you got an additional crew member from 2 to 3. So yeah, the turrets is what brings. I think on top you have Gatling guns, I believe, at the top, and then you have a turret at the bottom. Remote turrets, by the way. That third seat is a remote turret operator. The co-pilot seat operates 2 turrets. So you have 3. So more firepower here, less storage, but still more than a carrack. Still more than a carrack. Okay. So I mean, you still can store a lot of good stuff here. And oh, by the way, you got an armory in that ship that can house 12 soldiers that you can go ahead and put in those little seats as well. And the big thing here is personal inventory. personal inventory. I know that's with most of all the ships here, but you got additional storage in the armory, which can give you about, I think you got 4 2,000 in the main part, and then you got 3 2,000 in the armory. Do the math, folks. That's a lot of personal inventory space. So go ahead and put your donuts and your tea and your coffee and your protein shakes all up in there. Each and every Griff, you get a compartment. Fastcart, you get a compartment. Dark Knight, you get a compartment.
Everybody gets a compartment. Everybody gets a compartment, right? Everybody gets a compartment. Dark Knight, let me ask you a question. When we look at these ships like the C2 and the M2, what does this say about logistics, right? Kelosal mentioned something here. Let me give you the scenario for the M2, right? You got the M2, you're with your org. Maybe you've been said, hey, we hear that there's an org that might try to take our base over here. Can you bring the crew, right? So you get your guys, you load 2 or 3 tonks into the ship, right? You bring on board 12 people that are going to help escort, and when they get there, help secure your base, right? They're bringing all their gear. Kelosal says they open up the inventory areas. They're storing things in there to get things ready. And then you've stored your own stuff, right? You've stored your components. You've stored your own weapons, your own suits. All that stuff is on the ship, right? Am I making sense right now? You know, you basically got your ship ready to go, right? What does this say to you logistically when it comes down to you being threatened? What is the risk versus reward when you go to battle with those 12 people, those 3 tanks, all the armor, all the weapons, all the food, all the health bars, right? All this stuff is on your ship, right? Where's your ego versus your brain? How are you going to handle those scenarios when you get out there?
When it comes to something like that, I look at what we have in the military today. So I'm looking at C-130s and looking at C-5s, Galaxy. I'm looking at those. They aren't flying directly into a battle. They are dropping off at an airport.
I'm reading Pramster's comment.
Then trucks are picking them up and taking them where they need to go, or helicopters will pick them up and take where they need to go because they're more readily equipped and highly more armored, so they can carry those kinds of things. A C5 Galaxy wouldn't see that flying over, a battlefield because it has no weapons on it. Now the M2, it does have weapons on it, and that's it has to have weapons. It's it's a space game, but you're probably going to want to have some escorts because when you're carrying around 2 tonks and a complement of people, your armor, your supplies, you want to make sure they actually get where they need to go. So taking it into battle and going pew pew at the while I got all this on board ain't happening. I got to get this thing down on the ground somewhere. Logistically speaking, don't fly it into a war zone.
Pramster says, then you get this Joker in a ballista that aims at you from 12K out, right? Right? Okay. But Captain Weeby says something. He says the pilot will be sweating bullets once everything is physicalized, right? So my point is, I'm not saying we don't go into a fight. I'm saying it is going to put some things on your brain. There's no more of this, oh, my ship blew up. Let me start back at port O and respawn my ship, right? Because you've lost all the upgraded components to your ship, your extra components, your food, your freaking health protein bar, right? Your chicken jerky nuggets, all that stuff's gone. And not to mention your 12 friends who are pissed off because your ego didn't tell you, hey, why are you flying 5 clicks in too far? You should have landed and let us get out with the tanks, right? So I'm just saying there's all these different dynamics we're going to be thinking about when it comes to using ships like this. They're great, but they're going to have to fit their bill. Now, let me tell you this. When you see that star lifter that's flying towards you and that sucker don't land, what does that mean that is?
A2 coming at you. They're watching you dropping bombs on you.
Okay. All right. So if you're on the ground and you happen to see one not stop, there you go. That's something you better think about. Hammer says run. Okay. Okay. But seriously, right? I mean, that's something to give thought to. And not that the ship won't need, like you said, Dark Knight, those same protections, escort, and everything else. But when bomber squadrons are coming in, right, especially a ship like this, I think the A2 has something like 60 dumb
size
bombs that it can drop out. It's got 4 of the larger bombs that it can. We don't know what the capacity
size
of this is. Yeah, but we don't know what any of that means, right? Yet we haven't seen it in the game, right? But whatever it is, it's devastation, right? Whatever it is, it's devastation.
I want to say,
yeah, go ahead, Dark Knight.
somebody brought up in the chat, they were talking about having a ballista there to take them down. I was wondering if the bombs, you know, as big as they are, how high up can they be and still effectively drop the bomb?
You know what? In the video,
it may not.
There was in that video that they showed us the other day. They did show it dropping over a base, and it was up pretty high. There was clouds like underneath it. Now, again, we don't know. I was just listening to a great video that was done on Info Runners the other day. Kelosal heard it, where they brought in these military guys that talked about.
I saw that.
Ships. You see it? And one of the things they talked about was that they're pretty sure CIG is going to continue to develop. He said there's only like torpedoes. There's only so many type of torpedoes. But he said when it comes to bombs, you've got everything from the smart ones to guided to laser guide. He said all these different things that they can take advantage of with this ship. And they believe that this ship is in value going to increase, because right now they just introduced 2 types. But just like with the tank, they told us they're going to come up with different munitions for the tank, EMP munitions, all types of other stuff. So that brings even greater, you know, not practicality, but, you know, usefulness to this ship. We lose, Kelosal said, each time we move up in a ship, we lose some storage area. The storage capacity isn't there, but that's not what this ship is about.
Yeah, that's not what shit is about. It's irrelevant, right? Good point, Griff, because that's why you got those Gatling guns on there. What do you think those Gatling guns are going to do with those incoming missiles?
Yeah, what are the weapons on this one, Kelosal? Because the weapons on the A2 are ridiculous. I think they said that the A2 can deliver over 10 or 12,000 DPS.
Yeah, look at it.
Crazy.
Two of them now, size 4 remote turrets. That's just one stash. Then you got 2 size 5 side remote ballistic cannons on those turrets, and then you got two of these size 5 ballistic Gatling guns. So this and those guns are underneath the ship. Underneath.
Yeah.
So guess what they're shooting at? And you're talking about shooting ballistas. Good luck, those
Ballista's going to be down before they even see it.
They're going to be down before. As soon as you get up, it's going to be a spark. You're going to be like, ooh, look at the fire show.
Yeah. VPZ says it's a C-17 and the AC-130 combined, right? Yeah. You know, and obviously, you know, when you're coming in with these type of ships, whether it's one ship or a squadron of these, if it's 8 of them, you might get 2 of them, maybe 3, but somebody's going to get through, you know, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm loving this one. J2 says when they brought in the grenade launcher during ISC, they listed well over a dozen different types of grenades. I can only imagine that they'll have the same idea for bombs, missiles, and torpedoes. Okay. So yeah, we'll see what comes out of that. Okay. Let's stop here. We're going to take a quick station break for you guys. We want to kind of tell you guys, whoops, pushed the wrong video. Change back. There we go. We want to tell you guys we're doing a giveaway in just a few minutes, so hang in there with us. We've got also a premiere of a video that was done by Fist to Face and Pops that is on the RSI site that we think you guys are going to love, and you guys are going to be the first ones to see it tonight. So just brace yourselves for that. And we've got a really cool, very different type of giveaway that we're doing tonight. So we want you guys to stick around for that as well. The last ship that we're going to talk about, I'm on the last ship, right, guys? Am I on the right ship? Last ship? Yeah. Okay. The last ship that we're going to talk about here. Yeah. The Redeemer. This is a compilation of video of just seeing Sage Tomcat. Thank you for the follow. This is kind of a compilation of video of seeing the internals on the Redeemer. As you guys know, the Redeemer was on the floor on was it RSI to Aegis Day? Sorry, on Aegis Day, and we got a Origin. Origin, yeah, right. You're real funny. You're real funny. Don't get me confused. All right. One of the things that stuck out with me, I'm going to go first on this one with the Redeemer. It seemed like it got bigger, and everyone has told me that it has grown in size, because I remember this was hangar only, and you could walk around it. But to me, and chat, tell me if I'm wrong, it felt as if this ship has grown in size. Reload, good to see you. 07. I was also impressed with the redesign of it. It still has enough of the original flavor that was done by the, was it the 3 Horsemen? I think it was. Was that what it was? The 3 Horsemen?
I think it's called 4 Horsemen, but they only have 3 people.
4 Horsemen and 3 people, right? The 4 Horsemen. Thank you, fastcart. But man, is this thing a beast when it comes down to being loaded out. So let me start with fastcart this time, then I'll do Kelosal, then I'll do Dark Knight. Fastcart, did you get a chance to take a look at the Redeemer?
I did take a look at the Redeemer. it's hard for me to tell whether or not it got bigger. I take for people at their word, but it does look big. It looks big. It's not something I'm going to get, but I do like the rework and the new look of it. The old look didn't really do much for me, but this one does more for me. But I'm still not picking it up. But yeah, it's a pretty decent ship in my opinion. I know that there's a lot of hate for it. I mean, this is the internet. What doesn't have hate for it? But yeah, for me, I don't think it deserves the hate that it gets.
Okay, I'll tell Paul Shelley you said that, because you know how he feels about the Redeemer. Kelosal, what about you? What do you think about the Redeemer once you saw it in all its glory?
Well, I think it's important to notate of what it's used for. You know, she is not used. She's more used as a support ship. She can, once she drops off people, then you don't have to fly her away and say, bye-bye, we'll see you when we get finished with the mission. No, you can use her to go forward just a little bit. You can use her she's got cameras and things like that. She can survey the land. She can provide firepower for the troops that are coming in. So this is not a prowler. This is not any other, it's not a Valkyrie where you just go ahead and drop people and you leave. This ship stays. The ship can stay and provide a whole bunch of support for those troops that you just put down there, and then she can pick them right back up and go off. So this ship has a lot of functionality with it. I think a lot of people are going to love this ship. It's not for me because it's not for my gameplay. But whoever gameplay this is for you, I would get this ship. I really would.
Okay.
In game.
Okay. DK, in a couple of months, we're going to be doing a show called Apocalypse Now. We're going to be kind of going through, we're going to go through the Redeemer. We're going to go through the Valkyrie. We're going to go through the Prowler, and we're going to go through the Hoplite. Okay. In light of that, this ship changed in its design. Originally, the word was it was a drop ship in the very beginning when it first came out, but it has kind of moved from drop ship, even though it still has a bit of drop ship capability. It's moved more toward gunship, and I don't think we have any. Do we have any other gunships in the game? I think this is like the
Andromeda.
The first. Well, it is the Andromeda. That is a title on the Andromeda. I don't know if it still is now.
It was titled,
but is as far as the up where they've stepped it up, right? They've put in another big cannon. They've made it, like Kelosal said, way more forward firepower. What do you think about that change? You think it's been a positive change from where it was before?
You know, this like Kelosal mentioned, the ship isn't really for me, but I think adding more guns is always something a lot of people are okay with. It's just like, yeah, more guns, no problem. Okay. And in fact, I saw Pop say more guns, and I was thinking about more cowbell. But, yeah, I mean, I could see it being very popular. I'm you know, having more artillery on it, making it more capable of defending itself or being able to get out of sticky situations. Because I think somebody said it's not a prowler, you know. And it's not a prowler, so you're not going to be dropping this in like major drop zones like that, but it is good for resources or for support.
Okay. I'm curious to see whether or not this, with it bringing firepower, what I'm also hoping it brings is speed. Because to me, that's going to be essential for this ship. Being able to move very quickly, or at least maneuverability at the very least. It's great to have all those guns and stuff, but if you want to be on point for targeting and all those things like an Apache, I would love to know that it's got that level of control to put those guns to good use and accurate use. Let me ask you, said
Apache, because that was what I was kind of
thinking about. Okay. Okay. So does anybody own one? Because I don't own one. Anybody own one? Kelosal, you don't own one? Wow, we got a ship that nobody on the panel owns. I can't believe it. That's surprising. Okay. Well, you know, I always recommended to plenty of people who had this. A lot of people wanted to get rid of it. And I always told people, hang on to it. I think it'll be worth it. And for most people who I know who own it, they're glad that they waited. And for those who melted it, they can always go back and buy it back, right? For the price, this ship is $250. That ain't bad. $250 for this, because a Valkyrie is $385, $375. It ain't cheap. And a Vanguard is what? $240,
Vanguard,
$250, something like that. So this ship is guaranteed to go up in price, guys, because it's still not in the game. Once this thing gets ready to fly, what do you guys think the price will go to from $250? Anybody? Give me your numbers here.
Ooh.
Dupin, thank you for the follow.
At least 300, yeah. 300, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see it becoming 350. Not 350.
Okay.
I agree.
How much is the Valkyrie?
Valkyrie's 375.
To the 375. So,
but
yeah,
the Valkyrie carries 20 soldiers.
20 soldiers.
A vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Side guns. I mean, it's loaded to the teeth with guns as well. Loaded. Ballistics, but it's loaded.
Oh.
You know.
People in chat are saying we're lowbound. Boyardi says 400 and Popping Face is 450.
Wow. Okay. We shall see. We'll see. That's all we can say about it. But it's not that far away. It's lined up for this year. Yeah, I think it's lined up for two patches from now for the Redeemer to come out. I think the next one's the Taurus, the next one's the A2 and the Redeemer. So all three ships that we're talking about we'll be seeing hopefully this year. Urban Burger says 375. He's putting it comparable to the Valkyrie. Okay, he's putting it comparable to the Valkyrie. Okay. All right, well, that's the Redeemer. Again, folks, we are going to have a giveaway. We want you guys to hang in here with us just for a little bit. We're going to be premiering a video. We're going to, in fact, I'm going to set up for the giveaway while we're here. Let's answer the questions first, and then we'll do the giveaway. Let's see. Who was that who asked that question? You know what, fastcart?
Glaystone?
Does it? Yeah, I'm trying to see. Well, mine's not telling me who asked the questions. Is yours telling you who asked? Oh, this it is.
Yeah, it does. Right underneath.
Okay, I'm sorry. I see it now. Okay. Gladestone, we see you, gentlemen and ladies. If Gigi's around, happy holidays. And for us American soldiers, yes. And again, it's Memorial Day weekend for those of us in the States. To all those who are those who have served our country. We want to remember you guys, your families, those who've lost their lives, and those who've given their service. We thank you guys for that. Tomorrow is that day, so we'll be remembering folks here in the for the Memorial Day. The next one's from Jaja. Jaja says, "What is supposed to happen to a captured bounty? I mean, Han Solo owed money for the cargo he lost. What would be the result of a bounty wanted for murder when they are captured?" Anybody got me?
He was captured.
Yeah, well, that's what. I guess. Jaja, who's capturing them? Yeah, who's capturing them? Maybe that's the question.
He was put in carbonite.
He was put in carbonite.
Right. It put it in Jabba's palace.
So,
I mean,
out of gas, we will carbon freeze him.
Right, yeah. and wasn't it Boba Fett who had him? I mean, Darth Vader went ahead and got him, and Darth Vader, remember, we would be honored if he joined us, and things like that and so forth. Yeah. And they carbonated him before Luke Skywalker came in and gave him the
it was a test for Luke, in fact.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, check in the book of Boba Fett when they put it out and see how much he got.
The book of Boba Fett.
I see Barbad there said Fett was paid twice. Yeah, he was hustling both Vader and
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, we do. And Admiral Kusanagi mentions that we have stasis pods. No one says they have to come out, and we'll have to figure it out. We haven't seen the mechanics of it yet. I was kind of hoping that we were going to start seeing that when they put that stuff into the Cutlass Blue, and then the dragging came in. I was hoping we'd see that next step of Bounty Hunter. So let's hope that pops up fairly soon, because we should be seeing something for that. I think that will make Bounty Hunters really, really happy. Thanks, Jaja, for that.
To answer the question, I'm not sure. I mean, it depends on what the bounty is captured for. If it's captured for owing money, I can see them being used for forced labor. Or it depends. It depends on who ordered the bounty and who's capturing the bounty. But maybe forced labor, or coughing up whatever is owed, or if it's a criminal, you just deliver them to jail.
Right.
So it depends on the bounty.
Taking a rehab.
Yeah. Well, BI mentions this. Black Intellect mentions this, and this was supposed to be in the last patch that some of you all remember, that they were going to have surrendering coming into the game. It was going to be in relation to being stopped by the UEE. If you're on a ship and they, how they stop us, that you could surrender. Now, obviously, I would think if they're going to grant that to UEE, they'll also grant that for people who are bounty hunting, and there'll be a choice of. My question becomes, it's one thing when you're bounty hunting and you kill someone, right? Obviously, we know what the result is there. My question becomes when you're bounty hunting somebody and you're arresting them. If I put a bounty out on fastcart, Kelosal takes that bounty, catches fastcart, what happens to fastcart at that point? That's what we don't know completely. We've heard little stories about different ideas. At one point, Chris was talking about once you put them in the stasis thing, or once you capture them, then an NPC replaces that body, then that person can go back to playing. I mean, there's all types of things that they've talked about. I don't think any of us know exactly how that whole bounty thing is going to play out, but they are thinking. I
tell you this: if you catch a fast cart, I'm going to smooth talk my way to get you to release me, and I'll make it worth your while.
Okay. Let's see. CC Creator asks, is Soul Citizens connected with an org? No, Soul Citizens is not. We're from different orgs. There are a lot of us that are part of Test Squadron. Test Squadron, Best Squadron.
Best Squadron.
There are a lot of us that are part of Test Squadron. Dark Knight, what org are you at?
Galactic Enterprises.
Galactic Enterprises Incorporated.
Yes, Fist and Pops are my org mates, and they're going to be putting together that music that you guys are going to be hearing here shortly.
That's right. Video. That's right. Yeah, so we're made up of a bunch of different folks, but we're not all a part of one org, or neither are we an org ourselves. But we get that question from time to time if we're org, but we're not. Uri says, what if the Redeemers movement is slow as a snail? People will be melting that sucker left and right. That's what's going to happen with that bad fella. They will be melting it. And let's give back a little of that history, Uri, to talk about the Redeemer. The Redeemer technically is supposed to be the new technology of Aegis. Those scissor engines and stuff is supposed to be the new tech. It's not the old tech. So I would think it's an improvement. And even though people don't like that design, some people don't like that design, it's supposed to be the latest thing. So I would think that they're better, stronger, faster. That's what I would think, at least. And then Spitfire. Hey, Spitfire, I didn't know you dropped in here. He says, Origin or Drake? Now, let me ask you a question, Spitfire. You kind of know me, right? That's not even a question I'm going to answer. So since Dark Knight's laughing loudest, I'll let him answer that question first. Dark Knight, Origin, or Drake? And you can be honest.
So well, you know the answer to this one. So I walked into the Drake. I walked into Drake event today. I made sure I put on my Origin hat, my Origin shirt, and kind of looking pretty. I walked in, looked around, and then I walked right back out because I didn't need to do it.
Okay, all right. Fast car.
I
got you. Fast car, Origin, or Drake? That's the question on the table.
I own one Drake, the Yellow Jacket, the Dragonfly, and I own one 315P from Origin. So
you're 50-50.
I'm 50-50.
Okay,
yeah, basically.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Except I paid more for the Origin, because
the Origin has that premium. I ain't worried about all that. I just want to know what you got. Okay, Origin or Drake? All right.
You do that.
That's fine. Okay, Kelosal, what about you? Origin or Drake?
See, I ain't scared of Griff. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna go ahead and basically.
I want your honest answer. I'm asking for honest answers.
I thought I was gonna get a shirt made that said NO. The N stands for no and the O stands for Origin. But I do have a couple of Origins.
Bring him back.
Where did Kelosal go? What happened to him? Where did he go? What the heck? Where did he go?
Hey, that is I'm going to remember that when Bar Citizen comes around.
Next time you say I ain't scared of you, you know what's going to happen.
Get it wiped out the face of this earth. And Space Cloud came in and talked about that I would wreck ships or blow up a ship or something like that. No, only yours, Space Cloud. Only yours will I do that to. But I do have a couple of Origins. I do like Origin. I'm just playing around with Origin. Griff knows that I sympathize with him with Origin a little bit. Well, if he doesn't know it, he knows it now. I do have a couple. I have the G12s. I do have a 100 series. I have a 300 series. Other than that, with Origin, but I don't have any Drakes. I did have a Buccaneer, and I got rid of that. It's in melting, so I don't have any Drakes. Because once again, you fly a Drake, you die on a Drake. There's no escape pods.
Okay. That's the truth. Unfortunately, Crusader. I'm sorry, man. You put us in a bad boat, almost as bad as Drake, with that MSR not giving us escape pods. You're making us look bad, man.
Okay. All right. So, listen up, guys. We're gonna start our giveaway. We got about 10 minutes. This video is gonna take about 4.5 minutes. We really want you guys to watch this video. This video was produced by It was done by Fist to Face and Pops in Space, who have a company called New Soul. We're premiering it on our show tonight. If you want to be in the giveaway, the first giveaway is going to be for some of you. I said it's going to be a little bit different this year. Kelosal, tell them what the first item is we're going to be doing for the giveaway.
Yeah, so the first giveaway is going to be a UEE Navy t-shirt. Okay, a UEE Navy t-shirt. That's going to be the first giveaway. Mm-hmm. And that's about a value of what, $30, Griff?
Yep, $30, and all you have to do is put in !UEE, !UEE. Be aware that we're going to need you to send us an email if you're the winner with your information for mailing and stuff so we can have it shipped out to you. And of course, we're going to need your shirt size and all that stuff. But if you guys want to get one of those $30 blue official UEE Navy t-shirts that you can wear to CitizenCon in 2022, or you can proudly wear with your family so that they'll understand that you do have something tangible and not just virtual spaceships, then you can go ahead and put in for that. Okay, so you guys can put that in while we're watching the video, but check out this video that was done by them. And once this video is over, we're going to roll for that very first item. So check this out. I think you guys will dig it. Here we go. Let's see, where are we? Where's the video? It's here somewhere.
Think about Kelosal, by the way, when you get those items.
What'd you say?
Think about Kelosal when they get those items. The bank of Kelosal is always open.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Where's the
always
video?
open.
Yes.
All right, let me do this first. All right, let me put the shirt up so everybody can see what the shirt looks like. Okay, that's the shirt. That's the shirt.
I like blue, by the way.
You know what? I don't have the video set up. This is crazy. Can you believe it, guys? Griff is sleeping at the wheel. He did not have the video lined up. It's not even in the program. Oh my God.
It happens when you keep driving those comfortable confines of the origin
Lord,
ship.
Here we go. Here we
Laying in
go.
on this, Griff.
Here we go. All right, let me set this up. You guys give me 1 second here. My apologies.
Oh man, Kelosal, he ain't scared of you.
Yeah, I know. Fist and Pops, you guys forgive me. I was trying to have this together for you guys so I could impress you because you guys did such a great job on this. But I just was zoned out. All right, so here we go. You guys check out this video. Don't forget, !UEE.
Hello and welcome to the 2951 Invictus Expo. Invictus Mortal not only marks the graduation of the latest class of starmen and pilots entering service into the UEE Navy, but signifies the date that recruits all over the Empire want to start their service. Duty, tradition, service. A life in the UEE Navy is about building a better universe for your loved ones. While in Invictus, take a moment to honor all naval staff, past, present, and future, faithfully defending the Empire. Remember, Invictus is an opportunity to celebrate those who are about to embark on their journey in the UEE Navy. Be sure to congratulate any new recruits you see. The UEE Navy, united in purpose.
To shield our homes from the threats both outside and inside our borders.
It's about living up to the proud tradition of this uniform and those who gave their lives for it.
So, yes, the universe is full of beginnings. But no matter where our paths take us, we all have our place in the fleet. United in purpose.
Admiral Muff Cabbage, thanks for the follow. Dragon Dios, thank you for the follow. Barbin Jax, thank you for the follow and the subscription. AR Verpine, thank you for the subscription as well. Triconics, thank you for the follow. All right. Way to go, New Soul, Pops in Space and Fist to Face. Great job, guys. Awesome job. That was very cool. We appreciate you guys letting us premiere that on the show. For those of you here at the beginning, we actually played that as our intro music beforehand, but that was the full video. Go ahead, Fastcart.
You know what? That music was so good. I don't care if it comes with an LTR or not. That's how good that song was.
That is so funny. That is so cool. Yes. Hey, look who's here. Star Jump, congrats, man. Great job on the video. Everybody loved it. Awesome
amazing
stuff.
Video.
Yep. And thanks for giving New Soul permission. They told me that you gave permission for them to use that video excerpt. So thanks for hooking them up with that.
You have the link for the community hub or the Spectrum yet?
I'm sorry. I thought I sent it to you. My apologies if I didn't. Give me 1 second here. Fist, can you send that link to Fastcart via DM and he'll post that. So you guys, if you guys want to, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm Ender, not Grim. Oh, okay, Ender. Cool. The other half. Well, still, Ender, we appreciate it. Thank you for what you guys did. Everybody was impressed from last year and this year. He'll send it to you, Fastcart, and then you can post it. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this first raffle. UEE Navy shirt, $30 value. We are going to pump this out to you guys right now. Kelosal, give us a count, and then we'll hit the big button.
All right, the count is in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the winner is drum roll. Vengeful 1977. Vengeful. Awesome. Great year, by the way. Great year.
Congratulations, Vengeful. Send your information to us. Are you here? Vengeful probably went home. There he is.
There he is.
Awesome. Vengeful, send the information to soulcitizens@gmail.com. We need your mailing address and your shirt size. Please don't forget to put your shirt size in. Okay. All right. We're going to do another cool giveaway. And Kelosal,
second cool giveaway.
Let them know what this next one's going to be about.
The second giveaway is those of you lovers of the Scout Paisan. It's a hat, the UEE Navy hat, also worth a value of $30.
That's right, $30 for that UEE hat. You guys have seen it. Let me find it for you. I got it here. There it is. All right.
Nice.
Kelosal.
Look at a hat.
Kelosal, if it's a value of $30, that mean I can melt it for RSI credit?
No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can melt it. Okay.
Probably melt pretty good.
All right, so you guys can put in exclamation point UEE again, exclamation point UEE, if you're interested in getting the hat, the UEE hat. This will accompany your shirt. You will look so good at the convention in 2022 when you walk in with that UEE Navy hat. You'll even look good when you're playing the game with that UEE hat.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's another one we're going to pick for you guys. So we're going to give you guys about, how long should we give them to do this? About another 15 seconds to check in. I think we got everybody who's interested.
All proceeds go to colosalinneed.com. So please. Lord. Make sure that you donate.
All proceeds. By the way,
Kelosal.
Go ahead, fastcart.
Just send them to your OnlyFans. Just do that.
There you go.
The OnlyFans account.
That's where you got to go. This OnlyFans account. All right, guys. By the way, if you notice that we hit our May subscriber goal of 200, so we're doing this big giveaway today to the community, and we always tell you guys everything that comes into the channel goes right back out to you guys. So this is our way of saying thank you to you all. All right, have we got everybody? I think we got everybody. So. Exclamation point UEE. We're going to close it out in 5 seconds. If you haven't done it, if you're debating, get in now. It looks like we got a nice big group of folks here trying to get that $30 hat.
Nice, quite nice.
Yes. All right, who's that? Ugor, thank you for the subscription.
Yes. Follow and subscribe.
Good. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fist to Face. I appreciate that plug-in, sir.
All right, Jiru got in right under the wire. Okay, fastcart. Let's see. This time you can give us the countdown on this one, okay? Whenever you're ready.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the winner is
Cortheus has won the giveaway. Cortheus, are you here, Cortheus? Are you here? Or have you left the building? That hat is calling your name, Cortheus. Are you here? Let's see. Oh, there's Cortheus right there. Awesome sauce. Awesome. Cortheus, once again, send an email to Soul Citizens. Make sure you put an S on the end of that, soulcitizens@gmail.com. Give us your mailing address where you want it to be shipped, and we will ship it. Now, you guys know how this stuff is with CIG, right? If any of y'all ever ordered anything from CIG, it don't come in 1 week. It comes whenever they're ready to ship the stuff out. So I don't know if this stuff is going to come out within a week, 2 weeks, or a month. So just understand that there's
they may have a thing on their page.
Do they say anything about the shipping? Because sometimes it'll say that you got to do pre-orders, and sometimes it says they have them. I don't know. But yeah, we'll send that out to you, Cortheus. Congratulations on that. Cypress Stone, thank you.
Cypress
thank you
Stone.
for the subscription.
I love that name, by the way.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
No, they don't say for the hat.
It doesn't say? Okay. All right. No problem. I just wanted to kind of halfway be somewhat remembering what they were doing on this one, because these are new items. So I'm just a little nervous about them when they're new like that. But, we'll see. All right. We're going to do our final. Let me reset this here. Our final giveaway. Kelosal, let them know what
the final giveaway is something. Is something that I may want to borrow from you, because this is a $130 valued item. It is a UEE Navy jacket. A UEE Navy jacket worth at least about 130,000 smackers.
Okay, I wish it was 130,000. All right, so exclamation point UEE once again. Exclamation point UEE. If you
and for this one, I'm looking at the page. It says this one, the jacket runs small. So if you win and you want to order it, order a size up. And it also says expected delivery is Q3 2021.
Holy smoke! Okay. Hey. So you'll have it in time for the anniversary.
Thank you, the Easy Ace.
Thank you for the subscription. Easy Ace. Yeah.
Exclamation point. UEE. We're still coming in.
Get that jacket. I just want to look at it. I want to take a picture.
Nice jacket.
That's right,
Radagast. Next to the jacket.
Radagast said just in time for CitizenCon 2022.
I mean, for real. If I were to get this jacket, I would look like the boss from that picture that Griffin photoshopped for me.
I'm telling you, you got the shirt, the jacket, and the hat. Boy, imagine if one person won all three items. They'd be looking sharp.
Okay. We're going to close it out in 5 seconds, gang. Exclamation point UEE. Exclamation point UEE. Going once, going twice. All right, Dark Knight, your turn this time. Give him the countdown, brother.
All right, here we go. We're ready for that jacket. I want that jacket. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom. Radagast.
Radagast.
Got to be kidding me. Gots to be kidding me.
Out of Dodge.
Congrats.
Right before Kelosal.
Wow.
There he is. Holy cow. There he is.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
He's got a jacket and a picture with your one and only Kelosal.
All right, Radagast, you know the routine, brother. Send it in to soulcitizens@gmail.com. We need to know your size. Don't forget, as fastcart mentioned, they said that the jacket runs a size smaller, so make sure you upgrade it a little bit there, and we will get that ordered and shipped, and you'll get it about October of this year. So hopefully you'll be able to enjoy that jacket for the winter. Or the fall.
Or fall.
Or fall.
What's left of the fall. Yeah.
Unless you're down in Florida like Kelosal, then you just have to keep it on a rack because you're going to walk around with no hot jacket on. But anyway.
What are you going to do with the jacket anyway, man?
I mean, you could design it in many ways.
Okay.
You don't need the sleeves on in Florida. You can look kind of rough.
Oh, God. All right, so Black Intellect said, don't let me see you on the street with that jacket, Radagast. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. To everybody that was watching today, thank you guys so much for watching the show this week. As always, we always appreciate when you guys are on the show. Now, I'm about to lose a couple of my people here because I had to change cameras. Who did we lose? We lost Dark Knight, right? All right, so let me.
I'm still here.
No, well, yeah, I know you're there, but you know your camera was doing that weird stuff earlier. So I've got to steal your video now and try to bring you into this next thing. So hopefully this is going to work. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to try and do this real fast. Let's see. Boom. All right, he's there.
There we go.
All right, there he is. Okay.
Game around me.
Yeah. Oops, I got to put the other one back on top of him. Lord, there he is. Okay.
There you go.
Next week's show is going to be titled Social Security. The show next Sunday is going to be about what does it take, why security is going to be important in Star Citizen. What does it take to do security? Why do you need security? How much did you pay for security? Do you want security? Has nothing to do with socialized anything, but it is social security. So we want you guys to be here next week to check out that show. Don't forget about our new Thursday show, Soul Talk. Where we come on and talk about ISC and just stuff about the community. You guys can always drop in with us and just talk to us about that. We usually do that at 10 p.m. Eastern time, 9 p.m. Central time, 8 p.m. Mountain time, and 7 p.m. Pacific time. I got them all right. Don't ask me what UTC is because my brain doesn't go that far. 5 hours, I think it's 2 in the morning. But hopefully, if you guys want to sit in with us on Thursday nights, we have a really great time with that. Fastcart just dropped a link into chat. We're having the Bar Citizen on June the 12th. It's a Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. You guys make sure you have to register. You have to RSVP for that. And there is limited space. We had a really great time last night. Some of you guys remember Disco Lando hung out with us. And so we have people from Yacht Club that are going to be participating this time. We really hope you guys can join us with that. So it's free to RSVP for it. You'll get an email giving you information for it. But we'd love to have you guys come. We were there like last time. What?
We do have a CIG guest who said they're going to show up. I'm not sure if they wanted to say who it is.
Don't say anything about who it is.
We do have someone from.
There is somebody coming. Yes, there is somebody coming.
Yeah.
DK, Kelosal, Fastcart. You guys were there last time. We thought it was going to be an hour and a half long event. It turned into almost 3.5 hours. We had a really good time last time. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. Okay. That's about it. Anybody got anything? DK, where can people find you?
Aside from finding me here on the Soul Citizens podcast, you can look me up on Twitter. Everything's under Dark Knight 75. You can find me on YouTube on Dark Knight 75, except I only post videos once a month, or if that. And other than that, you can find me in game, Dark Knight 75.
Okay, cool. Kelosal, where can people find you?
You can find me in game, or you can find me here at Soul Citizens. I also want to go ahead and give a shout out to everybody dealing with Memorial Day. Please go ahead and honor our veterans and those in Memorial. So just want to give a shout out to those veterans and everybody that we've lost who served in our country, and so honorably.
Very well said. Thank you. Well said.
Thank you.
Fastcart, how about you, my friend?
You can find me on twitter.com/fast_cart. You can find me here on Soul Citizens on Sunday. On Tuesday, I'm on Debate Radio on twitch.tv with Miss Hart on the 80s show. We have a Black to Rhythm set. Wednesday is the Table of Horrors. I'm in chat. We're probably going to start up a new game and I don't want to say in the near future, but it's going to be a little bit before I'm back on. And oh yeah, a relay. Griffin and I were on relay last night. You can find the video up on YouTube, so check us out there.
Yeah, we had a good time with those guys last night. Okay. All right, so thank you guys. As always, we are going to set up a raid. Oh my God, somebody just raided us. Right when we're getting ready to raid somebody. Oh my God, Toucan official. Toucan, thank you so much for the raid. Oh God, we appreciate it. For those of you who came over with Toucan, let me see. I didn't get to acknowledge some people. JR Sunday. I'm assuming it's JR Sunday or Junior Sunday. Thank you for the follow. Easy Ace, again, thank you for the subscription that you did. Everybody who subscribed tonight, thank you. You guys pushed us over our 200 for the month, and we really appreciate that. So we're already over 200, so that'll be good for the next month. And we're going to set up a raid for Trip Rodriguez. For those of you who just came over with Toucan, thank you so much. But we were about to push the raid button right when your people came. So we're going to raid Trip Rodriguez. Y'all know Trip, right? Trip is the man. He has got the joysticks. He's got the outfit, the glasses, and he is serious about Star Citizen. So give him a shout, spend a few minutes with him, send him some love. As always, take care of yourself. Stay safe. Happy Memorial Day for those of you who recognize it. Peace, love, and soul. And we'll see you guys real soon, okay? Take care of yourselves, and we'll hopefully see you next week. Don't forget, Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Next Sunday, we'll see you guys then. Take care.